Good evening and welcome to the Canton Planning Commission on November 29th. As usual, we always like to begin with saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And for those who may not have a flag handy, I'm going to hold one in my video. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. All right, Commissioner Zuber, would you call the roll, see who's here?
Certainly, I do not see Commissioner Ataria. Commissioner Eggenberger?
Here, Canton, Michigan, Wayne County. I guess I already said Michigan.
Commissioner Engel?
Here, Canton Township, Wayne County, Michigan.
Awesome. Commissioner Foster?
Here, Canton Township, Wayne County, Michigan.
Commissioner Okan?
Here, Canton Township, Wayne County, Michigan.
Commissioner Singh?
Present, Wayne County, Canton, Michigan.
That's excellent. Commissioner Weber?
Present, Canton Township, Wayne County, Michigan.
Commissioner Zuber is here from Wayne County, Canton Township, Michigan. And Chairman Green?
I am here from Canton Township, Wayne County, Michigan. And Commissioner Eggenberger, it's okay to say Michigan more than once, particularly if you're talking about the University of Michigan. Go Blue!
We are big fans in our family, and my son sent us a text yesterday and said, "Is everybody else still so happy?" Yeah, we are. We're all just so happy.
Yes, absolutely. And we have our community planner, Patrick Sloan, and I understand a new senior planner, Aaron Schluto. All right, welcome, Aaron. I'm going to put you on the spot. Would you like to give us a minute and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. It's wonderful to meet you all via Zoom. I am the new senior planner with Canton Township, working with Patrick Sloan. I come to you from, I've been working for the past couple of years for the city of Berkeley. I've been there for a little while. Before that, I was a planner with McKenna for several years. So Patrick and I have go back a little ways. We worked together before. And there's a lot of wonderful projects going on in Canton. I'm really excited to get started. Patrick has kept me up to speed, got me up to speed on the master plan, RRC, a lot of the wonderful planning projects that are going on, and certainly a lot of the site plan projects, developments that are going on in Canton. So I'm very excited to be working with you all.
Well, welcome aboard. We're excited to have you here. Okay, so without further ado, let's see. We have 2 sets of minutes to approve. How'd that happen, Patrick? We skipped 1 month?
Well, I keep throwing these special meetings out there, so sometimes those minutes get stacked up where we've got more than one. And I think at the November 1st meeting, we didn't have enough time to get those October 18th minutes on that agenda. Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. All right, we have approval. We need approval of minutes of October 18th. Do I hear? All right. Do I hear a support of that?
Support.
All right, we've got a motion to approve the minutes of October 18 by Commissioner Zuber and support by Commissioner Foster. Commissioner Zuber, would you call the vote on that, please?
Sure. Commissioner Eggenberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Engel?
Yes.
Commissioner Foster?
Yes.
Commissioner Okan?
Yes.
Commissioner Singh?
Yes.
Commissioner Weber?
Yes.
And Commissioner Zuber, yes, and Chairman Green.
Yes. And we have also the minutes of November 1st to approve. Do I hear a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Support.
All right, we've got a motion to approve November 1st minutes by Commissioner Weber and support by Commissioner Foster. Commissioner Zuber, would you call the vote on that, please?
Of course. Commissioner Eggenberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Engel? I'm sorry, was that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Foster?
Yes.
Commissioner Okan,
Yes.
Commissioner Singh,
Yes.
Commissioner Weber,
yes,
Commissioner Zuber, yes, and Chairman Green.
Yes. Okay, tonight we have, I believe, 3 items on the agenda. Are there any late additions, Patrick, to the agenda?
No additions or amendments.
Okay, anything from the commission that is concerning?
No, but can I just point out, since you asked, I don't know if everybody knows, but Patrick sends the link to be a panelist the day of the, like earlier today, he sent the link to your email to be a panelist. So if you're waiting in the wings to be let in, you can actually get on and chat with us a little bit beforehand. If you find that link in your inbox.
Oh, okay, all right. Good public service announcement.
Yes,
Okay, do
I'm
I?
here to help.
Do I hear a motion to accept tonight's agenda of 3 items?
So moved.
Support.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Zuber to accept the agenda and support by Commissioner Eggenberger. Commissioner Zuber, would you call the vote, please?
Sure. Commissioner Eggenberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Engel,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Okan,
Yes.
excuse me, Commissioner Singh,
Yes.
Commissioner Weber,
yes,
Commissioner Zuber, yes, and Chairman Green.
Yes. Okay, so let's get right into it. We've got some old business to take care of, and this is a public hearing, so we'll have to open that up. But it is the Czar Plaza, where we're considering developer instigated revisions to property which is located on Cherry Hill between Denton and Ridge Road. It's a proposal of facade and architectural change. We tabled this item at the October 18th meeting. Patrick, could you give us more detail on this before we open it up?
Is
Sure.
it, just a second, is it a public hearing? Because on the agenda, it says public hearings none, and then it says old business.
You know what? Thank you very much. I stand corrected on that. I read past that and I saw a public hearing and
That's all right. There was a lot.
so never mind. Okay, it's old
Thank you,
business.
Ms.
at the Czar
Latella.
Plaza. Hey, thanks for catching that. All right, Patrick, go ahead. Sorry for the
Thank you.
interruption.
I won't rehash everything that we discussed on October 18th, but basically at that point, we reviewed the as-built versions of the plans, and the Planning Commission had postponed action on the plans. And since then, the applicant has made modifications to the plans, and they include adding a cornice around the building, decorative tops on the columns, metal awning over windows, and stucco over the exposed concrete footing near the ground. And these were in response to the comments that we had regarding the Cherry Hill Village Overlay District Design Guidelines, where the first one was about, the first guideline we addressed was the massing of the building. And so to address that, the applicants added the cornice around the perimeter. The second part of the design guidelines were the building materials. And the applicant had revised the plans by adding the stucco over the exposed concrete footing instead of just painting that concrete, or even putting a veneer over it, because that veneer would stick out. The third item was the windows, and to improve the facade, the applicant has revised the plans to add awnings over most of the windows. And then finally, our fourth item was the columns, and the applicants have added decorative tops to the brick columns to be consistent with the cornice. So based on the changes that have been made since the last plan review and getting the buildings to look more consistent with the original approvals, as well as compliant with the Cherry Hill Village Overlay District Design Guidelines, our recommendation is approval of the revised plans, subject to the cornice and decorative column tops being colored the same as the limestone, and subject to the stucco being integrally colored. With that, I'll take any questions. And we do have applicants, our representatives from the applicant in the audience.
Okay, I would like to hear from them. So, well, oh, Commissioner Eggenberger has her hand up first.
I just was wondering, when I look at the plans, yeah, are they gonna be green, the over the windows?
That'd be a question for the applicant. I think they were proposed to be green, but they can probably address the color and the shade.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's
Okay.
hard to tell exactly. what
It
looks-
says dark green on the plan.
Okay.
Okay,
I think
All
they're
right,
colored green on the elevations just to cull them out too, but I don't think they're literally gonna be that color.
Yeah, correct.
yeah. Yeah, I envisioned like a dark green or a forest type of green. But anyway, Patrick said that they can talk to that. It's kind of tough when we're not available to have material samples either. Patrick, you said the project sponsors are there?
Yes, we have two with their hand raised, so I'll allow them to talk. We have Ash Zar and we have Mona Hamoud.
Hey, thank you.
Good mo-
Good
Welcome.
evening. Sorry, it's afternoon here, but my name is Ash Zar, and I believe Mona, I'll let her speak to the architectural details. But thank you for considering this on your agenda again tonight.
Wait, let me stop you for just 1 minute. You said it's afternoon there. Where are you
Oh,
exactly?
I'm in California, so I live out in California.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. And I love that we can do these meetings like this. Okay,
Yeah, yes.
Good evening.
Okay.
This is Mona Hamoud. I just wanted to answer your question regarding the color. If
Sure.
needed, we can always submit a sample of the material or a sample of the color that's going to be painted with. But the idea is probably more like an olive green, not something that what you see on the elevation. This is just for clarity.
Well, there are different shades of olive. I don't know, I don't know that we need to get into that. Perhaps staff could review that when you submit that to them. If that's all right with staff and with you.
It's perfectly fine with us. So
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I don't want to waste a lot of time over that. Okay, let us go to the commission, and I'm going to start with Commissioner Zuber.
I think this is an improvement. So I appreciate the effort that you guys made to bring this to a little bit better aesthetic. So thank you. I think it looks good.
Commissioner Eggenberger.
thank you.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think it's some good improvements. Thanks.
Commissioner Okan.
I am good, thank you.
Commissioner Weber.
Yes, I agree. I think the improvements are more in line with what the original site plan called out for.
All right, and Commissioner Engel.
All set, no questions, thanks.
Commissioner Singh.
Just one question. There are a couple windows, I think, on each building without the awning. Is there any reason or some design there?
I'm sorry, what's the question again?
There are awnings missing on two of the windows on each side of the building.
I think those are the angled corners.
Yeah. We just didn't want to put something on the angle just so that it doesn't clash into the one over the door.
At the very end of the buildings we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay,
I-
all right.
I'm trying to open that file as I'm talking to you.
Yeah, the plan is not included in this set that we got today, but those corners are chamfered at 45-degree angles. So
Oh, they are, oh, okay.
they're
Okay, I
not
didn't see.
flat to the front. So I
Okay.
looked
So
at that.
yeah, I'm sorry. It's I just opened my plan. It's a little bit too close to the door. And so we didn't like, it's not gonna work well. It's just gonna over shadow the door.
It would
All
block
right.
the signage above the door, it looks like too.
It's too close to the door as it opens. That's why we left it. And it's on an angle, and it's kind of like pushed back from the facade of the building. So it's really like, it's not gonna stand out anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was not that visible from this elevation that it's in an angle. So yeah, that's.
Yeah, what
I'm
you
on-
see is the very front where we put the awning is what you see first when you look at the building, because the other ones are recessed back.
Yep.
All right, all set. Thank you.
Commissioner Foster.
I just appreciate the revision to make it closer to what we have already in Cherry Hill Village and closer to the original site plan. Thank you.
All right, the only issues I have, and I'm gonna just put this out there to the rest of the commission. When you look at the south elevation, and that's the elevation that faces the residential section, that's what they see. Does it look a little plain to you compared to the front and the sides? Commissioner Zuber, particularly, you have a kind of an eye for these things. Does that, I know that they're doing some brickwork that's different on the back, but when I look at this, and I understand it's a drawing, it just doesn't pop out at me, and I'm thinking, geez, those people have to that live in that neighborhood beyond that. They have to look at that. Why can't we present a little bit more interest in that part of the building?
I would want to look back at what we originally approved. I agree it's a little plain, but I don't remember what the site plan looks like how close those are to the neighbors, and it's the back of people's houses, if I recall,
Yeah,
or maybe not,
right.
but
Yeah.
And
Yes,
I
Go
would
ahead.
tend to agree. I mean, it's plain, but it's the back of the building, and the houses that are back. I'm looking at a picture of the area right now. I mean, this might sound harsh, but if you're gonna buy a house that abuts a commercial area, I mean, I don't think you're gonna get aesthetic beauty. I mean, I think it looks fine enough.
Yeah,
All right, let me put it this way. Let me ask this of Commissioner Zuber. Would there be a way in which to continue the vertical delineation, like they've got the pilasters with the coins? Is there a way you think that maybe we could, they've done it on the sides and they've done it on the front. And it's like, is there a way in which we can make that appearance a little bit more on the back?
I mean, you could do anything you want, but my concern would be that we approved what Patrick put up on the screen, which is relatively similar to what they've actually done. So I hate to go back and say, well, we approved this drawing in 2016, and now you've got to, update the back more than what you did then.
Okay, does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Pretty much? Okay.
Yes.
All right, and I will let it alone then. It's just me.
Sorry, I
That was the
can't
only-
back you on that one.
That's okay. That's the only issue that I have when I was looking at that. And again, we're looking at a drawing.
Yes.
So it's not, we're talking some detail that perhaps is not necessary. Okay, so with that said, we've all reviewed this. Do I hear any kind of a motion?
Yeah, I move to approve the site plan amendment on parcel number 073990005-713, subject to the cornice and decorative column tops being colored the same as the limestone, and subject to the stucco at the base being integrally colored. That is hard to say.
And subject to staff reviewing the awning colors.
Yes, thank you.
Support.
All right, so we've got a motion by Commissioner Zuber and support by Commissioner Weber. Any further discussion? Commissioner Zuber, would you call the vote on that, please?
Sure. Commissioner Eggenberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Engel,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Okan,
Yes.
Commissioner Singh,
Yes.
Commissioner Weber,
Yes.
Commissioner Zuber, yes, and Chairman Green.
That's a yes from me also. Good luck, folks. And sorry to, put you through a lot, but we're just trying to do the best we can for Canton. I hope you
No,
understand.
Well,
thank you so much. Oh, sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I would just add to
Yes.
that. I mean, if they're gonna do another project in Canton, I would highly encourage them that if they feel they have to make changes for whatever the reason is. I mean, I know things came up in these past few years with COVID and such, but to stay in contact with the township as opposed to just making changes on the fly.
Yeah, no, I fully appreciate and respect that, and
Yeah,
definitely it's a
Greg.
lesson learned.
Greg, we're only here because they didn't do what they're supposed to do the first time. So as Doug
Okay.
said, I think you should follow the plans instead of just making decisions on your own. That you put us in a box to have to approve. And I don't want to be in this position again with you guys.
Okay, I think that point's taken. Okay, that said, let's see, we got a motion on the floor. Did we vote on that?
We already voted.
Already voted. Okay, all right. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Our second agenda item of the night is a site plan revision, I guess. It's Buff City Soap, where we're looking at a proposed addition of a commercial tenant in a space that is quite not yet done yet, I guess. It's a proposed Planet Fitness building. Patrick, could you give us more in that detail?
Sure. As we know, there's a proposed Planet Fitness where there was a former movie theater. And I'll bring this up on the screen here soon so we can get a good look at the area. And as it turns out, Planet Fitness is not proposing to occupy the entire area. And Buff City Soap is a proposed commercial tenant. So let me just bring this up here. And so here is the facade. It's a Google Street View. And to the left of the main entrance is the area that's proposed to be occupied by Buff City Soap. And as we can see now, it's just a painted block part of the building, and doesn't really serve much of a function other than having an egress door. And so as a result, the applicants propose to renovate the space on this east side of the building facing Ford Road with a commercial retail tenant. And part of it is they propose to do a brick veneer on about the bottom half. And it's like a thin brick veneer. It's had some applications in the township looking at other site plans. And then on the top half, they're proposing to paint the block gray. And the proposed brick veneer is also looks like a shade of gray. And they're proposing windows and awnings and a front entry door here on that north side. I'll stop the share there. The site currently, the building footprint is not proposed to change, and the number of parking spaces are not proposed to change, and neither is any of the access or the cross access. Everything there is proposed to remain the same. In looking at the parking on the site, the parking was originally developed based on a movie theater of 1 space per 3 seats. And the parking based on a personal fitness center plus the retail is still under the supply of parking there. So they have plenty of parking. There's no parking shortage. The land use is permitted in the commercial C2 zone in the central business district overlay, and all the setbacks are the same and they're all met. So In general, the north side of the building, the proposed changes include adding a glass entrance door and windows, placing the thin brick over the existing painted block on the bottom half, painting the top half, and adding awnings and adding a wall sign. Wall signs and any signs are subject to review by building division. So I would defer to the building division in terms of the size of the sign. There's a minor change proposed to the landscaping, and there's an existing landscape plan on file for the former movie theater, and the revised site plan must comply with this approved landscape plan. And the applicant's proposal is to remove the 4 foundation trees in front of the proposed store and replant 2 of the foundation trees in better locations so that it fits more for retail versus the movie theater previously. And then the other 2 foundation trees that are removed are proposed to be replanted on the east side of the store. Due to the decline of some of the landscaping since the previous plans were approved many years ago, the Planning Services Division will require a satisfactory landscape inspection as a condition of occupancy of Planet Fitness and Buff City Soap. And any changes to the landscape plan would have to be illustrated on a revised plan in accordance with the zoning ordinance. And then finally, there are no proposed changes to the lighting or to the dumpster enclosure. In looking at the proposed color scheme, based on the current tan color, as well as the existing tan color on Planet Fitness side, and I still don't know yet if they're planning to paint any of that block from tan to some other color, that it may be better for, instead of the gray color scheme, to have something either light brown or dark brown or more consistent with the building so that there's more of a unified color scheme. And I noted this to the applicant just to see what their thoughts are. And they didn't seem too concerned about the main color scheme of going to a gray to a shade of brown, but they did note that the teal color is important. That's a corporate color. And I think that goes nicely with either color. It complements it well. So in terms of the color scheme, those are the only changes I have beyond what's in the report. So that concludes our report, and I'll be happy to take any questions.
Okay. Is the project sponsor here at all?
Yes, we've got 2, Bradford Angelini and John McAllister. I'll allow them to speak here.
All right.
Yeah, so this is Brad Angelini. I'm the architect working with John McAllister and Buff City Soap. Again, it's really a clean it up, fix it up kind of project for us, where we, repair all the sidewalks, fix some of the parking areas, add handicap spaces. The trees, which you saw in the original image, were just, they're sickly and not doing so well. So we, plant some new trees. We're kind of the tail wagging the dog on this giant project, as you saw. This is like back of the house for the theater. So by adding the entry door and the 2 windows, we thought that the black or the dark gray thin brick on the bottom and then the gray on the top at least distinguished us, so they don't just think that we're Planet Fitness, the other entry. We're hoping certainly the Planet Fitness folks, after they've gotten all stinky and worked out, want to come over to Buff City Soap to get a nice fragrant soap. But we are obviously depending on being seen from the street. So we thought we'd like to distinguish ourselves just a bit. It's a warm gray, which we think goes well with the tan color or the cream color. But we did want to change it just a bit.
Okay. Mr. McAllister, did you have anything you want to say?
I think Brad did a great job.
Okay, all right, all right.
But I'm here to answer any questions.
All right, then we're just going to go right to the commission. Commissioner Foster.
Hey, Greg, my computer just cut out. Did you just call on me?
Yes, I did. I just
Okay.
wanted to find out what you think about this project.
I like it. I don't have very many questions. My only comment would be that I agree with Patrick about the color of the brick and choosing something that would be more complementary to the gray and the teal.
Okay, Commissioner Singh?
You're
You're-
muted.
Or mute.
You're muted.
Yeah, I'm good with this project. Either color is fine. I think they're right when they say that they want to be distinguished a little bit from Planet Fitness. I'm fine with either gray or tan.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Engel?
Okay, I'd be happy with either color, but I understand that if they want to distinguish themselves, perhaps the gray would be a good idea, but I could go either way. Thank you.
Commissioner Weber?
Personally, I'm tired of everything in Canton being brown. I like the color. I totally understand why they want to stand out. I don't know if I'd like to see the elevation of the whole project when it's done to see how the gray fits with the entire project, because we don't know what Planet Fitness is going to look like exactly. But I'm fine with something that's different.
Okay, Commissioner Okan?
No, I like it. I'm good. I'm liking how we're breaking up a big building, so I'm happy to see that. But I just wondered, is this do you guys have any other locations? Is this are you guys local to the community? What is the backstory of this?
Yeah, so we're a franchisee and we have about half of the state of Michigan. We're fledgling. We only have one store in Brighton. It's in downtown Brighton that's open. It's been open for since July, and then Canton would be our second location in the state. So mostly Metro Detroit area, probably over the next 3 or 4 years.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Eggenberger?
Yeah, I have no problems with this. I think it's going to be an interesting addition. And I like the idea of somebody smelling better after they've worked out. So good idea.
Commissioner Zuber?
Yeah, I agree about the color with what Commissioner Weber said, that I get a little tired of the tan and red colors in Canton, and I think this will be a nice color combination that will stand out, like Brad said. I get your concern, Patrick, but I think it'll look really nice. So
Okay.
I support it.
All right, I have one, well, I've got two questions actually. Then they concern the rear of the building, the north elevation. And I'm all for having businesses having signage on the back side of buildings. I think there's a lot of situations where that maybe business is not had because customers don't know what business is around the corner. But the Buff City Soap signage that's on the building there, is that going to be backlighted, or is it going to have its own lighting glaring at those residences?
So the south side of the building will be the rear side. So
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
There won't be any. The changes are proposed to be on the north side, facing Ford Road, and then also the east side.
But they're
facing
showing
the Petco.
signage. They're showing signage on the rear, and so my concern is not to offend with glaring lighting the residential area behind them.
We don't have a rear.
Backlighting.
We don't have a rear elevation in the packet. They don't abut the rear. They're just in the front corner. So that's the front and the side elevation.
Yeah, that's the side against
Oh,
Petco.
that's okay. All right, that's my bad. I apologize with that then. Yeah, I see that now, that's the side. I thought that was the rear. Okay. Well,
And
then I have no questions on this. I like the idea of them distinguishing the color, taking that building and making part of it their own like that. And I'm okay with it all then.
I have one more question, actually.
Sure, go
if
ahead.
you're done, but I didn't mean to interrupt you, Greg.
No, I am done.
Okay. are the windows on the front, are those are actually windows and not spandrel glass, right, Brad?
Yeah, correct. They're, with the rendering has the coloring, but they're, you'll be able to see inside. And there'll be actually displays on them lit, so you can see what's inside.
Great. And then is there any, I just, this had just occurred to me when Greg was asking the questions about the side elevation. Is there a possibility of putting a window on the side?
You know, I'd have to look, let me just double check the furniture layout. You know, we have this, again, it's a franchise, John, so it's all these
Sure.
bits and pieces we have to respond to.
Yeah.
And we have a tall display in that corner. In fact, would be very nice to get a window there, and I wonder if we could kind of shuffle some things around and have a lower thing there and put a window there. But right now, this is the piece of furniture that's in that corner is quite tall.
Gotcha.
It's a display thing.
And I'm just thinking, because that is visible from like the Petco and ABC warehouse parking lot. So you might actually find that you get more people coming in that way.
Yeah, I hear you too. It would be it would be nice. What would be nice too is to get into that space and be able to have light coming from two directions. It's a good suggestion. We definitely could look at that for sure.
Okay.
Commissioner Zuber, in light of, let's say if we don't have actual windows, I know sometimes architectural technique from the outside might call for the faux window look, you know, with what do you call it, the spandrel glass?
Spandrel glass, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Do you think that would be an effect that would be useful there?
I mean, it would look better than that plain east elevation looks, but I think it would be more exciting to actually have windows you can see
To
through.
actually have the windows, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I get that you guys only really have half of what you're showing us on that side elevation. It's really only from the door to the front of the building, it looks like, from the plan. That's really your space.
Yeah, right. It's because it's, again, we're, as I said, we're the tail wagging the dog on this thing.
Yeah.
And it's, so the whole back of the building is Planet Fitness from the pier where the gray stops back, where we don't show any more of it. It's all Planet Fitness.
So if you were to put windows there, you'd have to do something different with the trees, correct?
And that we're replanting those anyway. Those are new
Okay.
trees. So we would, those are two new trees that are of the same species that exist. So we can do anything we want.
Brad, I think on the plan it shows that your demising wall is just to the left of where that door, the teal door, is shown on the east elevation.
That's correct.
So yeah, so you could put a window like up towards the front pilaster between where you're showing those trees, and it would look very nice, especially if it was like the front windows with the awning.
Yeah, it would look very nice. We just have to figure out, and again, we need to find something to do with that display case, which is
sure.
But I think it's a nice solution. I would love to get in space and be able to see in two directions. So I agree with you fully.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I
I'm
spoke out of
speaking-
turn, Greg, sorry.
No, you're fine. This is
No,
a
I think that's a
discussion
great
we're
idea.
having this.
And John is cringing right now because we've just increased the cost of the project.
Right. I'm here to help, Brad.
You get two architects talking to each other, you get in trouble.
I have,
From the owner's perspective, we have no problem adding a window there and I'm sure Brad, can work his magic and we'll figure out a way to make it work. It's not a showstopper for us.
Good.
oh, that would be great. I think that's a great idea if you can work with staff on that. I know Patrick's going, oh, another project I got to get involved in again. No, I think that would be really, really good. I do have a question though about the teal color. Is that becoming, or has it become like a corporate color for you?
It is. It's a corporate color. It's called Tokyo Green, and it
Okay.
is it's all Buff cities around the country. Buff City is big in the south, and it's really blowing up there. And that Tokyo Green is their trademark color.
Okay. So, because my first blush when I looked at this, and again, I did think of that as the rear of the building. And now that I think of the side, I still have this question for you. That door on the side, that is a utility door. It is not a customer entry door, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so was there a method to the madness of making that teal in terms of either appearances or usefulness for finding the door, finding your place? It's not something the customers use.
No, and actually, now that we have the Don Zuber Memorial window, we could.
Wait, I'm
knock that
still
door
alive,
out.
Brad.
That's true, but it would make sense to make that door go away and make it gray, because now we have some kind of architectural element on that side.
All right, I would like that myself. I think that sticks out like a sore thumb, and since it's not something that it needs to be there or that color, you know, that would be great to have that. Now, the other question that I have is, did you think about having the dark gray look on the side as well as on the front?
Yeah,
I support that question.
That's just a cost issue, and John, can you answer to that?
Yeah, I mean, it is cost prohibitive to add, because so if you look at the building, you know, we actually took the paint way beyond our occupied space just to give some continuity and, you know, take it to a corner instead of stopping right at where our demising wall was. So, you know, for us to do a 10-foot high brick veneer all the way, you know, obviously we would have to go back to that termination point, and which is, you know, it's a pretty big piece that doesn't really belong to us.
I agree.
I think you're muted, Greg.
There we go. Yep, it muted me too. Okay. Yeah, I missed the last minute of that dialogue. What was discussed?
The question was proposed if we could take that brick veneer, the gray brick veneer along the east side. And I was just explaining that it's somewhat cost prohibitive because we're taking our color scheme all the way to, you know, the next joint, not necessarily where our demising wall ends. So we'd be responsible for, you know, a significant portion of that wall that really belongs to Planet Fitness.
Gotcha. Okay. So not even a consideration of, let's say, painting the block on that side that color.
We could, because we're going to paint anyway, you know, just to freshen it up and bring it in. So if we could match the veneer and kind of bring that color around the corner, we'd be open to that. But actually,
I think
an actual
that would,
veneer would be, you know, a little bit, it's cost prohibitive.
okay.
To us.
I would be okay with that, you know, because I think from a distance or from, you know, looking from that side or that corner, it would pull that whole corner of the building together for you.
Yeah, I like that suggestion too. I think that's pretty good.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all that I have. I didn't know anything about you until I got this packet, and so I'm learning more. And I'm ready to hear an entertainment of a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the site plan amendment for Buff City Soap on parcel number 71-057-99-0001-007 at 43555 Ford Road, subject to compliance with the previously approved site plan and to the adding a window and painting the bottom part of the brick to match the charcoal veneer on the face of the building on the east side. That isn't worded very well, but I think we all know what I meant, right?
Oh, and changing the color of
the door too.
The door color, thank you. Changing the color of the door. I would just suggest that be painted to match the brick veneer on the front as well.
Support.
All right, we've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Zuber and support by Commissioner Singh. Any further discussion? Commissioner Zuber, would you call the vote on that, please?
Sure. Commissioner Eggenberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Engel?
Yes.
Commissioner Foster?
Yes.
Commissioner Okan,
Yes.
Commissioner Singh,
Yes.
Commissioner Weber,
Yes.
Commissioner Zuber, yes, and Chairman Green.
That's a yes from me. Well, good luck, gentlemen. And
Yeah.
we look
Thank you
forward
very
to
much.
seeing you in Canton.
Thank you very
All
much.
right.
Thanks for your time.
The third agenda item of the night, we're to discuss our meeting schedule for 2022. Doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary except two dates that are conflicting, two dates which would have conflicted with holidays. Patrick, is there anything else you want to say about that? I think it's pretty straightforward.
No, the only major item of note is that the part of the Open Meetings Act, the Michigan Open Meetings Act that allows for the virtual meetings, I think that expires at the end of December. So we'll be back in person starting in January, unless there's some change to the act or some other legal way that allows us to be virtual. However, we do plan to offer a Zoom component so that even if we're in person, we want to make it as easy as possible for members of the public to participate over Zoom if they want to, and that'll help us with some distancing. The board has been doing that with its meetings, last few meetings, and I think they've had some success with that in terms of being able to have people participate remotely. It wouldn't be, if the Open Meetings Act doesn't allow remote participation from planning commissioners, planning commission would still have to be in person, but members of the public, applicants, people like that would be able to participate electronically. So we'll have more for you on that.
Okay, so are you saying then that once we start that, us commissioners either would have to be in person or we would officially not be part of the meeting? Is that what,
That's
okay.
correct.
But the audience could go either way.
Yes, I believe so. I think they can still participate remotely.
Okay. All right, everybody understand that? But we don't know for certain that this is happening yet, right? You said that there's a sunset on the current situation.
Yeah, starting in January, we'll be back in person for face-to-face meetings.
Okay.
The Zoom component will be for members of the audience. So if we have a public hearing and rather than people coming out and going to the meeting, we'll have an option for them where they can just teleconference and participate that way.
So that's a definite. Okay. Everybody understand that? All right. Commissioner Foster, if you could unmute, you just tell us real briefly how's that gone for the trustees?
I think it's worked really well, having the ability of people to participate and watch the board meetings live and be able to offer public comment virtually has been a great thing for us. I'm all about expanding access and transparency, so I think it's worked well at the township level.
Okay, good. We look forward to that then. All right, so Patrick, we have to have a motion to accept that current. Oh, and I wanted to ask you this. Okay, so now from time to time, you see, even approving this, you'll still have the right to add a meeting or two additionally to this, like tonight's meeting.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Well, do I hear
Okay,
someone?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Sure.
Just, is there any talk, Patrick? Or I don't know if the administration has talked about it at all with what looks like yet another variant coming our way sooner rather than later. Is there talk, is probably at the state level, about continuing with the virtual meetings, like a new statutory provision that's going to allow for that or something? Have you heard anything like that?
I have not. A week or two ago, I read a story about a local unit of government, a city, and their council was lamenting the fact that they will be required to go back in person because the Open Meetings Act will require them after the end of the year. And I think for them, it was just more of having the option to do it. And this is at a time when cases are spiking as well. But regardless, I haven't heard anything out of Lansing or anything extending that. But I'll ask around and see if we're able to get any insight on that, whether there's any likelihood of that happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to go. I'd rather have them go back to being able to have our meetings in person, but just when we think we're getting clear of some things seem to explode again. So just, I agree with Commissioner Foster that we want to make sure we have plenty of access and ability for people to get there, but I want everyone to be safe too. So.
Yeah, I was wondering. Okay, go ahead.
Can I mention that the current order is given through the Wayne County Health Department, and it has been extended in the past. And so I think the question would be either to the Wayne County Health Department or the county commissioners if they're planning to do another extension at the end of the year, given current circumstances. But they usually wait until the last minute to do those extensions. So we'll see.
Okay, because I was wondering myself, since we kind of graduated from the boardroom to the Village Theater to Zoom, that if we were going to go back, we were going to probably start at the Village Theater again before going to the boardroom, because going to the boardroom puts us all closer together, which was something the Village Theater situation, spread us out. So I guess we'll just have to see how that works out.
I presume that if we go back in person, and I haven't been in the township offices in quite some time, but I presume if we're going back in person, does that mean we'll be wearing masks when we're doing the meetings?
They're required in the administration building now.
Are you wearing them do you have to wear them during trustee meetings?
Yes.
See, I hate that. I just almost prefer the virtual then, but whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah, Omnicron. Doesn't that sound like something out of Transformers?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Omnicron. Oh, I'm Optimus Prime. All right. Well, okay. So do I hear a motion to accept this agenda as stated?
Mr. Chairman, I move to recommend approval of the 2022 Planning Commission meeting schedule at 7 p.m. on the following dates: January 3rd, February 7th, March 7th, April 4th, May 2nd, June 6th, July 11th, August 1st, September 12th, October 3rd, November 7th, and December 5th.
Support.
All right, we've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Zuber to accept the stated agenda and support by Commissioner Weber. Commissioner Zuber, would you call the vote on this?
Sure. Commissioner Eggenberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Engel,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Okan,
Yes.
Commissioner Singh,
Yes.
Commissioner Weber,
Yes.
Commissioner Zuber, yes, and Chairman Green.
Aye. Okay. All right. I don't think we have any other business to discuss unless there's something that
We have to
Patrick, you want to?
refer some things for staff and set a public hearing. We have to.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. Okay, hold on a second. Let me get that up on my agenda here. Okay, so we have a staff referral, Wendy's. Do I hear a motion to send that to the staff for their review?
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion on the floor by Commissioner Zuber and support by Commissioner Weber. Commissioner Zuber, call the vote on that, please.
Sure. Commissioner Eggenberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Engel, Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Okan,
Yes.
Commissioner Singh,
Yes.
Commissioner Weber,
Yes.
Commissioner Zuber, yes, and Chairman Green.
Yes. And we have a bunch of public hearings to set for December 6th. Patrick, why are you loading those up like that?
A lot of applicants, they met the application deadline for setting those. So it was just one of those periods where everything happened at once and the folks are working up towards the deadline, and you have enough of them going for the same deadline. And yeah.
All right.
It's good we're here tonight.
Yeah, but everybody bring their jammies. Do I hear a motion to set that public hearing for December 6th?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Zuber and support by Commissioner Okan to set the public hearing for December 6th with stated items. Commissioner Zuber, would you call the vote on that, please?
Sure, Commissioner Eggenberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Engel,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Okan,
Yes.
Commissioner Singh,
Yes.
Commissioner Weber,
Yes.
Commissioner Zuber, yes, and Chairman Green.
It's a yes from me. Anything further to discuss?
Hey, Patrick, I don't know, you're probably aware, but you're getting a new assistant municipal services director. Did you hear?
Yes.
Have you met him yet?
No, I haven't met him personally.
Okay. He's a good friend of mine. He and I worked
Oh.
together. He and I worked together in the city of Dearborn previously, and we are friends too. But I think you'll like working with him. He's very very well in tune with the community that he's working in, and he's very much into sustainability issues and all that sort of thing. So.
Okay. Aaron, do you have any comments for the evening? In your first meeting with us?
No, thank you for letting
No?
me, thank you for letting me
Okay.
crash.
Well, no, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing that. All right, well, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Oh,
Wow, lots of motions to adjourn. Any support?
Support.
Support.
I'm gonna do it the right way and say, Commissioner Zuber, would you call the vote on that, please?
should I slow walk this? Commissioner Eggenberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Engel,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Okan,
Yes.
Commissioner Singh,
Yes.
Commissioner Weber,
Yes.
Commissioner Zuber, yes, and Chairman Green.
Yes, and thank you, everybody, for your participation tonight, and see you on the 6th. Stay
All right.
safe.
Thank you.
Thanks.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Night, everybody.